almost. I called it like a mini warmer with mystery man, sheer leather, and like I had a Southern evening, bring back my bar or whatever, and I did Home Alone, and I was like, are the men in your lives home now more than ever? Like, and they have their man caves, like why not, get them their own bundle for Christmas or whatever. So I just did goofy posts like that, and then I had Scentsy Soak as one of them. And so people I would say, don't comment. Like a mini, almost, I called it like a mini warmer with mystery man, sheer leather, and
there we go.
I'm like, it's myself talking back to me.
I know. I figured out a way to post it to YouTube. Sorry.
Sure. No, you're
trying to multitask. Keep going.
No. So then I would just say, like, in your messenger party, just tell people at the beginning, just say, don't comment with anything other than if you would like to have this item that I post, comment sold. And I had everything numbered. So like number 1 sold. And then like some of them I would say, like I have a few of these ones. So, I've got 3 sets of these, comment or whatever, and it will go to the first 3 that do it. So I would give it about like 15 to 30 minutes in between them. And that's just me because I was doing it throughout the day. But if you wanted to do it really quick, I think it's been successful doing like a 30-minute one and just posting every 5 minutes or whatever it might be. But then I just said, I'll keep this open until tomorrow at X time. And let me know if you would like anything. And that way, if somebody's not available right when you do it, they have an opportunity to get anything else that's left, I guess. So, and then, yeah, like you can do the gnome now. That would be just a cute one to do for the whiff boxes. And with a messenger party, like I did do stuff I had on hand, but you could also do, the things through your PWS as well. So, but yeah, it went well. People, I think it was nice too, because a lot of the people were local and I said, this is great for stocking stuffers, etc. So yeah, it was fun to create it and do something different for once. So.
Yeah. Right. And I think people love that like association. I think like having the jelly club, but yeah, like I think it makes it more fun.
Yeah, it was the connection between like, it was holiday movies type of thing. One of them was I did Elf, and then, like I had like a little coffee cup, like a plastic coffee cup that I had gotten, and I put in like room spray in a scent circle, and I was like, oh, the world's best coffee, but it's in a little pre-made gift up or whatever. So yeah. Yeah, I definitely went on a limb for some of them, but I was like, ooh, what can I like tie to this or that? So the blast. And then I've also done a couple holiday Facebook parties. I did a gnome one, I think, but I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas one, I think, and then also just a holiday one where I'll do interactive posts with like, what's your snowman name and what's your like favorite cup of cheer for the holiday season, and you just post like interactive things to get people connecting with each other too. So
yeah, I was just looking for Santa had brought some sticker books from Usborne last year to my daughter, and she was like, she brought the ones that she had used, like she literally the whole day after like sat down and did these sticker books, and she put them next to the elf and said, bring these back to Santa because like I want more of them. So I was just looking on my Usborne ladies page, and she had a ton of posts like that, like, and I've missed them, but like, what's your favorite cookie, what's your favorite Christmas carol, like, and so I'll go and I'll snag them and then I'll post them on this page too. But because why not, like why not create that engagement? And people love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not really a salesy post. It's just more of like, let's stay connected.
It's crazy. I made a post the other night and it got so much interaction.
Yeah.
You know what sloppy joes are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I made sloppy joes, and all I did was made a sloppy joe and I put it on a plate, and I took a picture of it and I said, So I want to know, how do you eat your sloppy joes? Do you eat them like a sandwich, or do you do it open faced? There were like 70 something comments from people that never interact with me,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
you know,
That's
and
awesome.
I was like, okay, you know, so I mean, that makes you, a lot of people just don't realize how much people see you. They
Mhm.
just don't comment.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I put cheese on it and I put mayo on it. And I'm like, you're gonna make me throw up. And
My
Oh my
sloppy
God.
Joe hack is
Oh,
those French onion, those dried onions, those Frenchies
oh
onions.
yeah. Hmm.
So good.
That sounds good.
Now I want
Or
to make
like,
them.
or my mom used like the chicken gumbo soup, and I saw somebody post like on that on Facebook, and it got a ton of interaction because like you can't find the chicken gumbo soups anywhere in the stores, so people were like hoarding them too. So that was our sloppy Joe trick, but seems
oh
like
wow.
a bunch of other people's. But look, there you go. You got 2 more interactions on your post.
Right.
It's
Right?
crazy the number of people that answered that, you know, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, you know, I put so much stuff on there you can't even see the bread, and I put cheese and I put mayonnaise, and I'm like, ugh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Never
Yeah.
tried it
funny.
with cheese,
No.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
but
No.
whatever, to each their own, right?
Yeah, right.
Totally.
But
Yeah. I don't know.
so who got who got their stuff ordered today? Who got the child?
I didn't have any pre-orders for once in like a really long time. I was like, all right. No,
I had
not-
6 pre-orders. Every one of them got taken out of my cart.
No,
I
shoot.
thought I was going to be sick.
Oh,
I
I
was
know.
sick.
It sounds like a lot of people had theirs. I didn't realize that. I mean, I guess I should have known with like the whole, the child buddy and everything, but I didn't realize how many people didn't get theirs until I saw afterwards. So,
Mhm.
shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
A lot of people.
not, I was not happy.
Yeah. I do like though that they're doing these, pre-orders. I know it sucks to have to tell your customers like you have to wait and everything, but I've seen some people kind of getting creative with ways to like, tell them that you have to hang in there, but it will come, soon. And somebody in one of my groups posted like they were going to get Baby Yoda socks or something and give them like the socks to each person that had pre-ordered, and just say like keep these until your child comes here, or not like until, but in place of them when they come, or some clever thing like that. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. Like, how do you manage expectations really like that? So
Yeah. Well, I know that they put out the on the news tab a few minutes ago that you can go ahead and pre-order, but it's going to be August or September before those warmers have come out.
yeah. What somebody said they were gonna print out like a picture of the child and put it, wrap it up and say like, just like a baby, it'll take 9 months for like until conception until you get your child. So there's something.
Yeah, that's a cute idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. And like so many people are frustrated, like, well, why can't they forecast? Why can't they, what is going on? And it's like, it's so hard. And we don't know what Disney's whole
Yeah.
expectations are.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we can do what Scentsy can do, but it doesn't mean that we have the control, because we don't.
Mhm.
And that's so hard to remember, that yes, it's a Scentsy product, but it's Disney and their partners that make those LTOs kind of more difficult to work with. But it's hard for us to just be like, oh yeah, no big deal. It still stinks. It still is not fun. And I saw one person, like, I could have been like, spending time with my kids this weekend versus getting pre-orders. And it's like, but yes, you could have, but you're building these relationships with these customers, now you get to talk to them again, work out a plan, whether they want to wait or they don't want to wait, like, it's so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought Sven was gonna sell out like, in seconds, and he lasted several days, if not
Right.
longer.
Today.
So
Yeah.
mhm,
Till today.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a while.
And look at the villains, like the Disney villains, they're still available, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, it's how do you know what's going to go fast? And Mike and Sully went so fast, but then Sven took the week, and we had asked about like that last week in our call, and it was like our SSD call, and it was like, well, what's the deal? And they're like, well, it's just a totally different market, like it's completely a different movie. It's, Mike and Sully, you probably got both. And then Sven, you got one, so it's like, it's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And those take forever to make.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So hard. Okay, so I don't know where Miss Jennifer is, but she's probably got something important to do. But when we chatted today, we were kind of thinking about like how do we wrap up a year? I mean, 2020 is one that we probably want to just kick out the door and say, see you later. We don't want you to be here. Yeah, bye. Like, get out of here, right?
Yeah.
And so we just like, how do we end the year? And then, so this will be our last call for 2020. And then we kind of want to look forward to like, well, what does 2021 look like? Do we want to do trainings the way we've always done trainings? Do we want to switch them up and try something different? Do we want to, like what do we want to do? So that was kind of one thing, but then too, like finishing out the year strong. I love the messenger party. I kind of forgot about that, Courtney. So I'm glad you brought that up, but like, what a great way to do after cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
When shipping cutoff, if you have inventory, don't go buy inventory. That's not what Scentsy about. But
Right.
if you have some at home and you have stocking stuffers, or you have like, look at all those flowers I got up there, right? Like I could totally do a little something like you did, Courtney, and do a messenger party and get them into people's hands. Wrap them really cute.
Yeah, like last minute Santa workshop party or something. Like the elves are working hard to get you your things because you missed shipping cutoff or something, so
right.
Definitely.
Because, even though
I am doing an event Saturday if it does not get rained out. So that's my first event since last Christmas.
wow.
Every event that I had signed up for, of course, in the spring was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I've got one Saturday unless it gets rained out. And so it's at a early learning center. And so I messaged her last night. I screenshotted like the weather. And I was like, you see this, right? It's showing a 60% chance of rain. She said, yeah. She said, I'm trying to see if we can move it inside. And I said, well, how many vendors do you have? And she said, 22.
Oh, wow.
And I said, holy cow, that's good for her.
Right.
And so we'll see. I'm going to try to offload what I can Saturday. If not, I've done the messenger parties. I may try to throw those in. And I mean, I've emailed customers and say, look, if you need stuff, let me know. I have it.
Right.
But
I also thought too, maybe like, and I don't know if I would do this before or after deadline, just with everything, coming up so fast, but like doing like a Christmas trivia or a 2020 trivia or some kind of like fun trivia game. And maybe that could generate a few sales after like shipping even, because I'm anticipating it to be a slower end of the month because of that, so just finding ways to rally into the new year, I guess. So I did another direct sale company person had a 90s trivia event that was kind of fun, and they just posted like a post every 5 minutes, and they would give like the first person with the correct answer 5 points, and then everyone else got like an entry, and then they did like a drawing at the end of the night or whatever. So something to also to think about.
Right. Because that you could just pull from like the interweb, like
Yeah, like or holiday movie trivia. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that would be so fun.
so creative like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I'm like I have all these ideas, but I have to find like people that will help me out with
Right,
like
to do
doing
it.
them. Otherwise, it's just me being like, I want to do this.
Right. Right. I had an idea, but now I've lost it. Oh, even though shipping is, since he always has the shipping cutoff,
Yeah.
they still are gonna have a bunch of people, and they moved it forward because of UPS and how like maxed out they are because everyone else's shipping is crazy.
Yep.
That they're we can't guarantee that they'll get it, but more than likely they're like you'll be fine because UPS and FedEx will hopefully.
FedEx has been horrible.
I haven't had bad. Maybe it's just where I live, but
I was supposed to get a box today, it over the weekend, and then today it even showed delivery for today. And I checked it a few minutes ago, and still sitting in Austell, which is on the north side of Atlanta. So.
Well, and I did hear like there was an SSD posted on our page about a state that I don't remember what state. It might have been Georgia, that they're sending like Christmas gifts to their team, and everything is sitting like at the post office. And then they called and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have a COVID breakout, so we don't have any employees."
Georgia just sucks all the way around right now.
I was like, man, I mean, I know Minnesota is like the worst state
election.
Right now. Yeah, right? What the heck? You might want to move out of there.
Moving to the Caribbean or something.
Well, you gotta go somewhere where there's Scentsy, because you can't leave Scentsy.
Somewhere, yeah. I mean, Georgia just sucks right now.
Okay, so it says Melissa's having trouble getting in. I don't know. Jenna, will you send her the link that you got in? Because you didn't have to type a password, right? I'm just trying to find, I sent her the link before. But another thing that
I didn't have trouble.
What was that?
No, I didn't have trouble getting in.
Yeah.
She can't get in with that link. She tried.
Okay. What link did you use? You got in.
I just
The
clicked
one on the page.
The Zoom link. That's what I clicked.
Yeah, that's what I did too when I got in.
I'll tag her again in a link. I can't even tag. My Facebook will not tag tonight.
You got in Facebook jail?
I don't know.
I'm new to the Zoom thing too, so I'm figuring it out myself.
Sure, you did good though. You're here.
And I think Facebook is really, I don't know, because I'll use Facebook on my laptop, I'll use it on my iPad, I'll use it on my iPhone. But a few minutes ago, I copied the article from the news tab to my team page about the child pre-orders. And all I did was just copy it word for word, copied and pasted. And a message popped up from Facebook saying it's under review to see if it matches their standards.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I think they're starting to kind of crack down a little bit more.
I don't feel like I've been copying and pasting other than like from group to group. Like I'll share, like if someone posts something on the director page or SSD page, then I'll share it. But like maybe I'm doing that too much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have to look and see if they approved it.
And then like now I don't know why we can't. And I think this happened last time we were trying to get this call to go onto Facebook. It wouldn't. So
Yeah, they apparently approved it because now it's on there.
now it's on there.
So,
Good. Cool. Okay, so let's chit chat quickly about training and what does it look like for 2021? Do we like this setup? Do we not like this setup? Do we want to do pre-recorded? Do we want to do live? Do we want to do 1 week versus 2 weeks? Do we want to do 4 weeks? Like how can we, when I say we, Jennifer and I, make sure that we are giving you guys what you want, how you want it, like we would love to see numbers go up. Like we feel like we're not getting the response that we once were getting. So is it like overwhelming? Like, is there just too much going on? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I love your cat.
Yeah, Dylan, isn't he?
If I let Harley in, he would be right here.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Oh, he's
so
on my
sweet.
printer, like
I know.
stinker.
I mean, I don't have kids at home, so I don't have to deal with homework and bath and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm totally fine with nights. So I'm open to anything.
I do think that like consistency is key. So I think we do need to find something and stick to it and be consistent. But I mean, doing it like this where you can come on if you're available, but then also like if you have it going to YouTube or to the page, then maybe, you know, people could do a watch party another time, or they could just watch it and comment. I don't know. I like the community feel though of seeing everyone else and being able to talk to people that you don't get to talk to other times and kind of crack into different ideas. So I feel like I don't want to worry about or I don't want I just lost my train of thought. Somebody just messaged me about the Baby Yoda warmer. It's like, oh no.
Well, there's a pre-order.
I know, right? I was like, whoa, new customer too.
That's
Shoot.
pretty good.
Like, this always happens. But anyway, no, I think that we should be able to do, I mean, it's hard because some people want to know more about recruiting and some people want to know more about getting your PRV boost and training. It's like people are at different parts of their journey. So how do you find like a good happy medium that everyone can feel like they get a nugget from, you know, regardless of where they are on their journey?
Right. And I feel like, so we have been doing Monday calls for 12 years, like,
Sure.
you know, which we, you know, switched it up a little bit when Jerry, who was the superstar that connected Jennifer and I together, when she went on her mission trip, we kind of were like, oh, what do we do? But we just kind of branded together, right? So we used to do them every Monday night. Like we'd get on the phone and we would listen to Jerry and, you know, and it was always something that was like, yes, like it's part of my Scentsy career. Like this is just what we do. But now with like, there's so many other groups. Like, are we losing people to that? Like there's the United We Rise and Allison Dolkeys and, you know, like there's all these people that have other trainings. And, you know, are we competing against that? So do we, I don't know. You know, we want people to show up is the biggest thing. And we want to
See, I think like with the Allison, because I mean, I've watched Allison but I think she is more about her personal journey.
Mhm.
A lot of times. I don't think she is so much about the business aspect of it or ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I mean, I enjoy listening to her, and I'm glad that she and Brian do all the stuff that they do for,
Right.
like the couples retreats and all that stuff. That's kind of what I get when I take away from listening to her. In United We Rise, it may be about their personal journeys a lot of times, and
True.
not about what can help you and you and you and you and you.
So sounds like what I'm hearing is that we like the actual steps of how to do things. And this is what's working for me. You should go try it. The messenger party, the Vizzle, the Facebook parties, the recruiting, that sort of thing. So stick to more of the buy, host, join, because those are our three basic categories, and really just kind of keep it to a basic level so that everyone can take away something, but maybe add in a little extra, like if you've tried this, then you should try this, or
Right, because we say that all the time.
Right.
If I'm doing a Facebook party and all of a sudden my Facebook parties just hit a wall and none of them are working, then that's when I have to change it up. If I've got a preset format for my Facebook parties, and I've used that same format for a whole catalog season, it's posting the same content that several people may have already seen. So I mean, we tell people all the time, well, if this isn't working, then don't do it anymore. Try this. Or try this idea. That's not working, then try this. I mean,
Right.
we say it all the time, but I mean, my Facebook parties could be completely different than Courtney's Facebook parties.
Right.
And, different content, or different pictures, or, I mean, that's where the helping each other and learning from each other is more important to me than,
Okay.
not that I don't care about people's personal stories, but I'm just going to say, but I mean, I can get on YouTube and watch that all day long,
Yep.
So,
But you like the practical, this is what I did, this is the outcome, this is how I did it. This is, and just continue to do that. That's kind of like what we kind of been doing, because we don't know, it's like, are people, not coming because they don't like our format? We don't know.
yeah.
how, unless we ask, we don't really know. So, I mean,
Mhm.
we can keep doing what we're doing. That's not an issue. We just didn't know. So,
We did have a couple weeks ago, we had like a guest speaker though as well, and they shared their whole kind of journey and experience. And I think that I appreciated that, because I think it's nice to hear the occasional like outsider or somebody that you don't get to see or hear from a lot, and just hear kind of what their pitfalls were along the way, and why, how they kind of found success, or how they're striving to find it in just different ways. So I agree that it's good to have those practical sides of things, but it's also good to tie it all together and see how did that person use the buy, host, join to get to where they are today type of thing, so put it into a more real life aspect too. So
cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
those can be sprinkled in, but they don't have to be like every week we have a guest speaker, but just something to kind of, break things up and get something different in there.
Right. So I just wrote down speakers, and then maybe we do every fourth call is a speaker. So that's every other month maybe, because it is hard to get another director, because we're all doing our own teams, and we're all doing this, and then it's like, oh, you want me to come do your team? Well, then you got to go to do mine, and then it's like, you're spreading yourself so thin training, and I want to focus more back on my own personal business in 2021, because it suffered, and it's I would way rather train and guide and coach like my whole entire life, but that doesn't pay, I have to keep growing my own business for
Sure.
me to have my own business, right? So like, not that we spend a whole lot of time on, planning out, but we do have to spend, an afternoon chit-chatting about it. But if we would keep it consistent, like, a buy, host, join, speaker, buy, host, join, speaker, like just kind of get into a motion, and we're not then, Jennifer and I can split and she can take one and I can take another, it just is a little bit easier. And two, like tonight, like I like this where
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
an open discussion, and maybe we even do that, like open
Yeah.
mic night or something, like bring your ideas,
Yeah,
and that
I was
the
gonna
whole
say.
thing. Oh, go ahead.
Mhm. No, I was gonna say that too, like having a workshop type of, night where you can work on your own business and, people can chit chat in the background and ask like what's been working for you. And then others can, I was just cleaning up my Scentsy room while we were chatting, so you can kind of just multitask a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like we did for those coffee and
The
chats.
Friday mornings.
Yeah, the Friday mornings when we were doing that one, it was like everyone was completely shut down, like,
Right.
so, I don't want to throw that into the mix right now because there's so many of us like distance learning. Like I can barely keep my kid afloat. So, we won't add another day in or night in, but if we can, keep kind of a schedule like that, I think that's a great idea. An activity night, maybe we, I know we talked about like stickers, or one day we did a join thing, and it will kind of change. Or maybe the first call of the month is maybe more like honed in on a topic, and then maybe the second time we meet, the third Monday, is maybe more of an open chat, or what's working for you, what's not working, who can we help, that sort of thing. And if you can sit and you can listen, and if you have something to say, you can say it, or you can clean your office or work on a basket party, or something like that. That's totally cool. So, okay, we're getting ideas. I
So
like it.
you're totally fine with inviting more people to the group then, right?
Yes.
Totally. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I will post the Jennifer and Ann's training link on my team page and ask them. So because other than what I put out there, and even with the newer people, I think in the beginning, the newer people, they get so overwhelmed with this page and this page and this page and this page, and they don't know who to listen to, and they don't know, they're following this person and they're like, who is this?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, this would be so-and-so and that kind of thing. So, in the beginning, it is so overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So kudos to Jenna, because she just signed up like last week. She's on the call.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
I'm new.
Rand's
you got a
thinking
nugget.
That's awesome.
awesome. And you had orders in November. So
Yeah,
PRV.
well, good for you. Good for you.
And even thinking like, I don't do this and maybe I need to do this, but like emailing reminders, right? Like, are we just flooded with information on Facebook? Like, do we need email? Like, I don't know, does Jennifer send out an email reminder on the Mondays that, like, I don't know. So
If I don't ever get anything from Jennifer, but I used to, but I don't know if I don't get anything from Jennifer anymore.
okay. Is she your Superstar director, or is there someone else?
No.
Okay, that's
no.
why.
Yeah.
That's
But I
I know.
used to get stuff from her, and then it went to Stacy, and now it's Heather.
Okay.
So,
I know that like for the Saturday calls with Callie and Becca, I know like in Nellie's group, she posts like the same graphic every week, like the night before, and it's, or, you know, a couple hours or what, I think it's the night before, but it's a good reminder because when I see things over and over again, then I can remember like, oh yeah, I should try to make it for that call or try to be available if I'm not doing this or that. So if you could maybe even just start with like a post if you don't want to do an email, but just have it be at a consistent time, and you can probably schedule it or whatever and just do it at that time so that it starts to get in people's minds, right? So that's one suggestion. What was I going to say? Oh, the other thought I had too is that I think a couple weeks or months ago, there was like some little challenges, I think for recruiting was one of them. Like that could be a suggestion if you do stick with the buy host join, like, you know, from one buy to the next, one buy training to the next buy training, like what can you do? That's a challenge that people could do. And they don't, it's not, I mean, it's not something, I don't want people to think it's like, you have to do this and it's another thing you have to do. But if you're really invested in your business and in growing, and you want to, you know, be better at recruiting, like you're going to have to step outside of the box. So make these packets or talk to these types of people. And then, you know, that can be the basis for the next, you know, at the beginning of the next meeting, who had success while they were doing this challenge and who found that they were struggling and why, you know, so it can kind of build off of that going forward. And then it makes it more conversational too. So.
Yeah.
You need like a manager to remember all of that stuff.
It's recorded. Just go back and watch it
This is
again.
my manager right
Just
here.
go back and watch it again, Courtney said. Just in your free time, you just go back and you watch
I
that.
know, I nominate Courtney.
Here I
And
am.
you're it.
I'll remember it. I will. I'm not afraid.
You know,
Yeah.
and maybe it will take a team. Like, you know, Jennifer and I, it's this, you know, is, yeah, we started it, but it's not our call. It's our group's call. You know what I mean? Like, if someone really wants to like step out and like do some more for this, like we welcome it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she's homeschooling too, you know, like actually homeschooling, not distance learning, but she is doing the teacher, like her kids got pulled out of school. So, not all of them, but you know, she does have 7 of them in school. So,
Oh, good Lord.
you know, like our plates are full. So, everyone's plates are full, not just ours, but everyone's. So, you know, if someone is listening to this and they're like, oh, I'd love to help out, please contact us because we would love to help. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And maybe that's something that 2021 is more just conversational workshop style. And when you guys are available to hop on, you know, give a 5-minute little spiel on something that you feel is important, but then otherwise it's up to everybody else to keep the conversation going, you know?
Sure.
You know what, but I mean, I even find the same thing sometimes on, just like on my team page. You know, sometimes they're just not real interactive, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, when I post and I share and I do this and I may come across a file, like a PDF or something like that and go, oh, okay, well, that would be good to put in the file section. So I'll upload it and, you know, and then sometimes it's just like crickets on there and I kind of want to go, hello, you know, hello, are y'all there? But then sometimes they just like chatty Cathy, they just, you know, they get on there and they just go on a rampage and then all of a sudden it's cricket again. So I don't know. You know,
It's hard to know. And it's, you know, like I just love Scentsy in the fact that we can do it our way. Right. And I think I have gotten negative feedback because I don't take it serious enough, or I don't give enough, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. And it's like, you guys, but you know, it's my business, how I want to work it. Right. and you can work your business how you want to work it. So it's just like, it's so hard because it's like we all can do it however we want to do it, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
I think I get where you're coming from, because I mean, I have seen on some other group or team pages, you know, anywhere from a director to a star director, a superstar director, kind of try to micromanage
Mm.
some of the consultants. And I'm like, wow, that's not going to go over real well.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. As long as they're staying within compliance,
Mhm.
then yeah,
You're good.
you're good. Yeah.
Right.
And I mean,
And
that's probably one of the main things that I really, really, really try to reiterate to anybody on my team page is stay in compliance. Don't, and I mean, I'll post standards and I'll copy and paste this and I'll copy and paste that. And just for God's sake, just stay in compliance,
right.
just that's the main
Get an
thing.
email, just change it. Just do what they ask and just move on.
Right.
Yeah. And I think, yeah.
You think what?
I mean, it is, right? Right. We all can do this business however we want. And I don't know. I had a point when you were talking again. Now it's lost me. I don't know.
I just think sometimes I kind of with some of the bigger, maybe some of the bigger groups sometimes may make the consultants feel a little bit less than.
Mhm.
And
My heart.
that's sad. That's not okay. So I think sometimes that's where some of the consultants try to start pulling back a little bit and think, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And you just can't be that way.
Right.
So.
And that's not Scentsy Spirit, like at all.
No.
And that's where, like, if we all just do the best that we can with what we're given with, like, we all have such different situations. I've been having such a hard time with distance learning with Harlow. And today a customer came over, and I've known her forever. She's always been a customer of mine. And she was like, how's it going? And she's got kids that are, in college, married. Like, she does not have any kids that she's doing any learning from. And she's like, how's it going? And I'm like, I am like gonna rip my hair out. And she goes, Anne, but today someone has it worse than you have it. And it was like, oh yes, like what a good reminder, because it was like, yeah, like I was so complaining. I was so like, I'm just over this. Like it was such a hard day. Thursday, Friday were such awful days with distance learning. And I'm just like, and then Monday I was like, okay, here we go. And then it was just like, no, we're in tears again. Like this just isn't how it's supposed to be. Right. But when she said that, it was like, oh yeah, like I'm so lucky that I get to do Scentsy and that I get to stay home with my kiddos and that I'm here. Because, there's so many people that are still working, trying to do distance learning and doing their Scentsy business and, taking care of their elderly parents. And, there's just so much other stuff, right? So I think, like, if we all can come to the table and just accept the people, accept our Scentsy family the way that we are, and like just come and bring ideas and give more than you take, and give grace. And I just think that, that's where we're going to get our meat and potatoes, and
yeah, for sure.
And want to be a part of the community. Like, Courtney said before, like she loves the community, which is great. That's what we want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, and I just told my team today, you know, it's just like if you want to vent, if you want to get on the team page and you want to just vent within the team page, if you didn't get your child warmers or, you know, then let it loose on here. I would much rather them let it loose within my team page than put it out there for anybody else to hear.
Right.
And I let them know that, look, that's okay. I understand that you're ticked off because I lost 6 warmers myself, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's a warmer.
It's warmer than wax. Right.
It's a warmer.
Yeah.
It was a $500 order, but it's a warmer.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I mean, it's not life threatening, you know. I mean, I have a cousin, her whole family has COVID. My cousin, her husband, and her 2 kids.
It's sad.
She's got double pneumonia with COVID. And I'm worried about 6 warmers? No. You know, there's much bigger things to worry about. So, you know, I agree. I mean, if anybody's upset about anything, then talk about it within, because we understand, we can relate,
Right.
and nobody on the outside gets what we're talking about. They're like, so
Right.
yeah.
You're like, yeah, I got up at 2 a.m. to put in orders. Like,
Mhm.
no, like, this is crazy. But
Right.
do it
Yeah.
for you, you know. But I know I always try to, it's hard either way, but I always try to just preface it right by being like, I'm gonna try. Like, I make it sound like I'm going to war and like battle, like I'm putting on all my armor and I'm gonna like go and try to get it for you, but no promises, you know. I'm like, if you want to, like, you can go right ahead and get up at 2 a.m. too or whatever, but you know, I'll do what I can. But I think you know, if you plant that seed early on too, it helps with the disappointment. And I'm not saying it takes it all away by any means, but it softens it a
Right.
little. Then they get it and they're like, oh yeah, I hope you get it too. And then you get to feel like a hero when you do get it, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I got it.
You know,
So-
but and like we ordered furniture. Maybe March we'll get it. We ordered it like 6 weeks ago. March? Furniture? Like really? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so we're not the only people that are like
Yeah.
delayed in shipments or, you know, like I don't
Totally.
know. But yeah.
Did I tell you what? We're a lot better than what Tupperware is. I'm still waiting on a butter dish. It's like, where's my butter
I know.
dish?
And you guys, like, I just saw this week somebody that I'm friends with on my Facebook. Like, they're probably one of the first people I ever like dealt with from a direct sales standpoint, but their business shut down this week, and that just put things like really big into perspective. Like, they had been around just as long, if not longer, than Scentsy, and their business couldn't make it, you know. And same thing with like a 40-year-old like jewelry company I heard shut down too. So like, you just have to count your blessings that, like, you know, it's a good thing that we're selling out of these things, because
Yeah.
that means that there's an audience still. So
Yeah.
And know that we're safe. Like Scentsy is so secure financially that we are like, we don't have anything to be concerned about, which is so nice, right?
Mhm.
Like, I'm sure, you know, those other companies probably felt like that they were, maybe they were blindsided, but like, just know that Scentsy is on the up and up. Like, we're just using money from like 2016. Like, they've kept it for so long. So they are smart on how they're using their money. I wish they would teach classes to like on how to be financial. Like,
I'll take it.
me too. I just love to spend my money.
Need to put some of that stuff on the training tabs.
Yes. Like, you know, who needs Dave Ramsey? We've got Orville Thompson.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
get our chief financial officer, get him a page on that training page.
Right.
Totally.
Okay, so I've got a list. Jennifer just texted me. We will connect. Another thing that I know that she wanted to ask was about like, do we want to do like, in my group, I do a book study for like people that are, we had it kind of direct, or, you know, people that had team underneath them, but we've kind of opened that up now. But do we need a higher level of training? Like, do we need a star director and above training? Do we need, you know, is it part of this call? Is it not part of this call? I know we used to do a director call with Jerry, but I think we need, you know, like, you can be in those conversations before you're a director, you know, like, there isn't anything that was like, I don't know, stuff that we couldn't talk about. Like, do we see a need like that? Or do we open up my book club and, you know, do to everyone? Do we just keep it my group? Jennifer, I think, really wants to do like a leaders training. You know, do we want to add another day in there? Do we want to do it? I don't know. So maybe we'll have to chat about that maybe in the new year when she's on and she can kind of talk about what she was thinking. But just kind of maybe think about that for the next time we meet. And we'll go from there because it's already 9:30. How'd that go so fast?
Right? Oh my gosh. Sounds good. We'll brainstorm some things.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for hopping on, ladies.
Yeah.
I'm always open. I'm always open to anything. Just know that.
Okay. Well, good to know, Kim. Thank you. And
Hopefully-
Kim, you guys, new director. Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Thank
That's so
you.
Courtney's
Yeah.
going to be there soon.
Yeah.
I'm working, climbing up. Hopefully at the time of our next call, the world is in a better place. We'll say that. I don't know. Might be wishful thinking, but 2021, I have high expectations. So
Yes, for sure. Because I'm over 2020. So
seriously, it's
So,
time. Like,
yeah.
ugh.
And
Awesome. Well, thanks you
All
guys.
right.
Have a great night.
You too.
All right.
all right,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.